I'm Liesel and welcome to LSEC in the Chair. My guest today is Owen, owner of SIP Exclusive. SIP caters to the industry's need for bars, cocktails and liquor. In addition, Owen was crowned South Africa's Diageo World-Class Bartender in 2019 and went on to represent us at the Globals in Glasgow. COVID-19 and the subsequent alcohol bans have hit businesses like SIP very hard. Luckily, Owen and the team has managed to think out of the box by thinking into the box. Owen, welcome to LSEC in the Chair.
Cool. Hi, Liesel. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be on your show.
Awesome. Owen, just before the alcohol ban hit us, you and the team were working on a fabulous concept called the What's the Fuss box. Can you please tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so obviously before the whole thing, the ban happened and, with the lockdown and whatever, obviously, we in events like, and, we've been missing, obviously, being in our customers' or our guest space, if I can call it that, being out there doing events and whatever. So we thought of a concept to sort of still be present, but not physically be there. So, we wanted to create a really cool experience for consumers or for our customers at home. And that's why we came up, with the box. And like I say, thinking in the box was kind of where we went with this. And what's the fuss at a whole concept or has a whole concept, has a whole concept behind it. And, we actually going to start doing these sort of like, call it a What's the Fuss series, which will work back to the boxes. And our whole idea is to go around to, urban farmers or local cheese makers or, honey farmers, or local brands or anything like that. And basically just go shine a bit of light on them as well. And basically just show our customers where all our stuff comes from that we're using in the box or in the boxes, and this is one of many that we're doing. We've got a couple of brands that we're teaming with that we're doing this with, and then there's a few brands that we just purely enjoy, and we're also doing some cool stuff with them. And we've recently worked with a guy who brings in some independent bottled whiskies and stuff like that. So really like unique experiences that we're trying to bring to people's homes. And that's kind of what we're doing. So yeah, it's interesting. And this was the first one that we're going to launch, the one that I'm going to show you today. And obviously the ban kind of stopped us for a little bit. But it gave us time to really work on these boxes and make them a bit better. So very interesting concept.
Okay, that's absolutely amazing. Well done for thinking out of the box to into the box in a whole new level. So, what is exactly in that box?
Yeah, so the boxes, we obviously saw a lot of people doing boxes in South Africa, and the gin box have been doing it for a while. So the concept is really nothing new. What we did a bit differently was obviously, we figured how can we really be in our customer's space without really being there. So we started shooting these videos that actually comes with the box. So when you get the box, you'll get a nice printed, basically like call it a postcard with a bit of info on, and on there you'll get a QR code, and with that you can scan through to videos that will obviously be on our YouTube channel. And speaking of that, our first couple of videos are being made as we speak, so I'm quite excited to see them. But basically they will be able to scan in, and then that will tell you a bit of info about the actual product that's in the box, a little bit about SIP Exclusive, and then there's different videos. So each box will have about 4 to 6 cocktails in it, depending. Obviously, we focus strongly on a classic with that brand, classic cocktail. So this one, for example, is with Gordon. So we do a gin and tonic, and then we do a second classic where we do a bit of a twist on it, and we tell a bit of a story around it. And then we've got 2 sort of signature cocktails that we came up with, for that box. So in all, the box will give you around 15 to 20 cocktails. And then with that little leaflet we print as well, we do that on grow paper. So grow paper is another company that I found out towards the Cedarburg a while ago. Actually, I did it with World Class, and they print on seeded paper that you can just stick in the ground and it grows some flowers or herbs or whatever the case may be. So our whole focus around it was very much about sustainability in mind. Hence these beautiful wooden boxes. The idea was to reuse and reduce, obviously. So basically telling people, okay, you can either use the box and replant your grow paper in there as a grow box, or if you want, put it on a wall as a shelf, or just use it as a storage box, or return it. Return it for a discount on your next box if we do a subscription box, for example. So that was the basic story of it, and we wanted to be really sustainable. So even everything in the box, we try and be quite sustainable with it. We try and source local as much as possible. We want to bring local flavors to people. This is purely a cocktail one that we've got here, but we're obviously also looking at doing stuff for, paired with cheese and chocolate and things like that. So we're doing tasting boxes. And really, again, just going back to the local market and finding these people to work with. Just to give them support as well in this trying times. So that's kind of the idea. So let's get into this box, and I'll show you quickly what's in it. So it's quite big. I mean, this was prototype one. Actually, we managed to get it a bit smaller, but we'll work with this big one now. And then the lid is also the lid's also treated on the inside, so you could use it as a cutting board if you want to.
Oh, how amazing!
Then we've got so it's a double use all the way. Then we've got all of these lovely goodies in there. And then obviously you'll get the printed grow paper leaflet on top. I'm still waiting for the printing, so don't worry, it's going to be gorgeous. And then we've got all the ingredients in here, and then obviously it will be the star of the show, which is the brand that we're working with. Strong focus on local brands, but also, some international brands. We kind of like to work with them. Yeah. And you've got some equipment in here. We've got all the ingredients needed, and that's basically what you're going to get. And obviously we'll explain exactly what everything is in the box, and that's also in the video. So we do unpacking, and we really help you to create sort of a great cocktail at home, and that's the idea. Every box will be a little bit different. So we've got also now, we started working on a food box. We've got a non-alcoholic box. I mean, a vegetarian food box that we're also doing. And again, that's a local supplier, that's struggling, a veg supplier. And we kind of like saying, okay, let's do this veg box with you guys, and we sell it. And with that, we also made really cool, fun videos, which hopefully should launch in the next 2 weeks. And the whole idea is just for people to have a good time being stuck at home and not being able to go out, and make some awesome drinks. I mean, some world-class drinks, and that's also why we call it What's the Fuss? You're saying, what's the fuss about all these fancy drinks, and why can't we make it at home? And that's basically the idea, is that we sort of educate the consumer a little bit more and tell them how to make drinks at home, and that it's actually easy to make a sugar syrup or flavored sugar syrup, anything like that. So it's quite easy. But anyways, let me tell you what's in the box. So this one here, we've obviously got a bottle of Gordon's. Now, with these, it could be either one full bottle, or we could have a bunch of mini bottles. We're going to do one with Musgrave as well. She brought out these really cool little sweet bottles, which are 200 mils. So with that, we can do a gin and a brandy, for example. So there's that. And then starting with the first cocktail, we've got a gin and tonic. And then we're working with Schweppes on this one. But obviously, we're going to try and work with as many local people as well. And Schweppes this is produced in South Africa, so it's still from here. And then with that gin and tonic, we've got a little bit of orange and cinnamon, just because it is still kind of winter. Well, hopefully still for a little while. So this is orange and cinnamon dehydrated garnish to go with that. And, just to add that sort of winter note to the gin and tonic. And that's kind of what our thinking was. And this is obviously also sustainable. The bag is made from cellulose, so it's biodegradable. So that's for the first cocktail. The second one, we came up with a bit more of a hot punch. And with this kind of stuff, we also tell the story about a punch. So what is a punch? Where does it come from? What's the history behind it? And with that one, we did these cool little reusable tea bags.
Oh, wow.
But actually, they've made from like the cotton hemp material, basically, and they're reusable. And this we got from a little shop called Shop Zero. which is there close to the biscuit mill. And they do really all these cool, sustainable, locally sourced stuff as well. And then in here, I've got some rooibos tea. Obviously, we're South Africans, so we have to have some rooibos tea somewhere. And that's infused with a bit of dehydrated orange and cacao nibs, or, you know, chocolate pieces. And that's for the hot drink. So this goes together with, we've got some fresh lemon with that. Then we've got some pre-bottled sugar syrup. So we do also talk about how you make sugar syrup on the video. But, you know, just for convenience sake, we already made it for whoever gets this lovely box. And then that's basically the ingredients for that one. So that's like a hot tea drink with some sugar syrup, a bit of lemon juice, the gin, and then just served hot in a teacup, you know, and one tea bag makes 2 servings as well. So it's a nice sharing cocktail. And then number 3, or let's go to number 4. Number 4, we've got basically these days, you know, I see on the internet one of the most searched cocktails is the Negroni. And it looks like South Africans are getting a bit more of a bitter palate now, which is great. So with the third one, you obviously have the gin, and then we've got the sweet vermouth, and we've got the bitter aperitif. So that's just the bitter and the sweet. Obviously, we source where we can in South Africa. And then that gets garnished also with just some fresh orange. And then with this orange, we also have a bonus recipe. So we say, okay, cool, squeeze the orange and make yourself an extra orange martini, or, you know, use it in some food or whatever you want to. And that's those couple of cocktails there. Then we've got, obviously, shaker for you, jigger, and we've got a bar spoon, which is basically the essential tools you need. Obviously, us as bartenders prefer the 2-piece shakers, but, you know, this works fine. And we will have an option available if you do have your own equipment to buy it without the equipment. Okay. So you don't have to double buy. Yeah. Which I think is nice, and that saves you a bit of money if you do have your own equipment. And I mean, we also talk on What's the Fuss, our series. We'll be talking about what can you use at home to make cocktails with instead of fancy equipment. You know, like for instance, if you use a shaker, you can replace that with a console jar and just use that as a shaker. And that's kind of the idea also behind What's the Fuss. It's really making it easy for people and accessible. But, you know, also we're still here. So book us when you can again. Yeah, and that's that. And then for the third one, I mean, the fourth cocktail, we've got a cocktail we call the GG Fizz, basically. And with that one, JC LaRue just launched this beautiful can of, you know, it's basically a little bit of sparkling wine in a can. And I've always been a fan of JC. They've got some really good MCCs as well. And I think that, you know, some people often downgrade JC a bit, and I think it's a great product. They've got some good stuff. So that's the one ingredient. Then we've got, so each box will also have a homemade ingredient that you'd have to make yourself. In that case, we've got this dehydrated grapefruit and ginger pack. So you will take your sugar syrup basically, and on the stove top, just break these into little pieces, bring it up to heat, and then leave it to infuse for a couple of minutes, and then strain it off. Then you've got a grapefruit and ginger cordial in a way, and that's also what goes into the drink. And then we've got some fresh lemon again for that, and a rosemary garnish. So we include the rosemary with a little bit of a couple of pegs that you can peg it on the side of a glass. Yeah, so that's that. And I want to make this one for you quickly, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's such a shame that I can't taste it. You are so far away.
That's okay. I'll send you one in a bottle.
But Owen, I really love the fact that you guys have really honestly thought it through from A to Z. You have literally thought about everything, the whole sustainability, the whole using local, giving back to local people. You've really thought it through, like the devil is in the detail. And it's absolutely amazing. And it's opening up the world of bartending to the normal people like me that's just used to, let's pour a little bit of vodka in a glass with Coke and that's it. You know, now suddenly I can actually do my own cocktails and I can actually play around a little bit, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and that was the idea. And I mean, you know, most of the products that we'll have in the box will have for sale on our shop as well, and the Sip Craft shop, which I'll talk about now after I make this cocktail. But you know, people can go back and buy it if you know. Sometimes you just want to chill back and have a cocktail. So we can also pre-make all of these things for you to just assemble if you want, you know, and come and deliver that as well. So that's kind of the idea. You know, people can then come back and buy more ingredients to top of the box. They'll already have the equipment. They already have the videos to know how to make the cocktail. So I think that's what makes it great as well, is the fact that you don't just get this one box and you make a random drink and then you forget about it.
Well, it's really it's really the box that literally keeps on giving back.
Yes, yeah, and I think it's great for the brands as well. You know, it gives them some love, because I think a lot of brands, especially local brands, they struggle to sort of get the word out there and what it's, you know, what they're all about. So I think, you know, with this, putting liquid to lips and brand in hand is a great way for the brands to also get their sort of, you know, there's little time in the spotlight.
Absolutely.
You know, because they do marketing and all of that, but nobody really knows how to use these brands, or they might not ever have tasted it. So now they can actually taste it. And hopefully the whole cocktail experience entices people to buy more local brands as well. All right, cool. So for this one cocktail, the GG Fizz, you need your shaker, you need the jigger, and then like I said, we need this JC Leroux La Forêt can, a little bag of grapefruit for your sugar syrup. So I'm just going to use normal sugar syrup for the sake of the video, but basically you just put this on the stove top, break that into pieces, heat it up slightly, and then let it sit for a few minutes to infuse. And then, you know, if you want more flavor, you can infuse it for longer. If you want less flavor, you can do it a bit shorter. You can also blend it up, obviously, for a quick cold infusion if you want to get a bit more fresher flavors. Right, so and then we need some gin. I'm just going to use our open one for now. And then in this one, we put in basically 1.5 shots of gin. And obviously, these are all explained in the video as well, how it works. What is this thing? You know, it's jigger, what's the size, and all of that. So there's no confusion, really. Then we've got a bit of our grapefruit syrup. We'll call it the grapefruit syrup for now. Of that, you want to put in about 20 mils. Unless you have a sweet tooth, then you can go a bit more. And then a bit of lemon. So with the lemon, I'm just going to cut it in half. Just want to cut it in half like that, basically. And then we suggest to sort of pre-squeeze on the side. So if you're going to make some cocktails, just pre-squeeze your lemon juice and have it ready. And then, you know, what we also sort of try and really reiterate in the videos is like, try and stick with fresh ingredients. Don't use store-bought lemon juice and stuff like that. Fresh is better. We're going to put in a little bit of lemon juice. And then ice. Unfortunately, we can't send ice with the box. It's going to melt, but I'm sure most people have ice at home. Although we will have some craft ice if you do want to buy and have it delivered with the, you know, with the box, that's fine. But it won't come standard in the box, so unfortunately not. Okay, and then you just want to close that off, and we're going to shake that up a bit.
The noise that many South Africans have really, really missed.
And then you need a glass, so also glassware. We are actually looking at some boxes that will include glassware. Some might not. And then, you know, again, if you are entertaining for you and your family and you want to hire a few glasses, you can do that as well. Or if you want to buy some, we can always organize it. You can buy some on the side. It's 100% fine. Okay, and then we just want to strain it into your glass. And again, we also talk about glasses on the video. We say, look, this is the preferred glass, but if you have any other glass at home that sort of matches up, you can use that too. And then a little bit of your JC. So this one will make 3 cocktails for you. So I suggest you have a friend or 2 over at least, so you can share or drink it all. It's fine.
Or drink it by yourself. No shame in that.
And then we've got this little rosemary pack. That's just for some aromatics. So a little piece of that. And again, you've got a few, whatever you have left over, you can tuck in some food again or something like that. And then we just bake that on the side. That's basically a simple, easy cocktail, 4 ingredients, very easy to make at home. So this drink is also based on a French 75. It's a twist on that. So we're really trying to make consumers also understand what a twisted cocktail is, you know. So you don't just always have to stick with the classic. How can you change it up a bit? So if you do have a cocktail guide at home, for example, how can you take some of those drinks and replace some of the ingredients with local products and all of that? And that's kind of the idea. Let me taste.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Delicious.
And so
Yeah.
obviously we're still under the alcohol ban. Is there any way to start selling non-alcoholic boxes? Is that really an option?
Yes, so we are busy working on one. I've got one package on my website already with the Martini Dolce, which is the 0.0 Martini Prosecco from Bacardi. And then I'm working on a Women's Month box that we should have on hopefully Monday for sale in the meantime, and then we'll do a whole video about it for Friday for Women's Month. And that will include a couple of lekker goodies. You know, we're teaming up with, we've got a bit of a beauty product, like a vegan beauty product that we're going to add in there. Just like hand stuff, pedicure, manicure stuff. I don't know. My partner in Joburg, Cecilia, she works with that pretty girly stuff, you know. And we want to include like a little snack, obviously, and then a bottle of the Prosecco Dolce. And we've got a local product that makes a bitter, a non-alcoholic bitter. Also, you know, a good acquaintance of ours. He's actually the guy who started the Bloedlemoen gin. He started that a while ago, yeah, and he now dabbles in the non-alcoholic stuff. So he's got a few cool products out in the market already. He's got abstinence, Cape Spice and Cape Citrus, which is like you could call it a non-alcoholic gin. It's really tasty with tonic, and then he's bringing out another product that we're going to team up with on this box. So basically the idea is to have like a non-alcoholic Bellini and spritz box, you know, with some beauty products, and you can, you know, just pamper yourself for all the hard work and great stuff all you ladies are doing for us. Yeah, just enjoy, you know. It will be a nice pack. I don't want to give too much away, but we should have it out next week. Yeah, and I'm working on a few other non-alcoholic stuff. Like I said, we're even moving into the food boxes now. You know, we are working on a little coffee experience as well. So there's a few things in the pipeline.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, which hopefully we can get out. Obviously, it's not that easy when you don't have much funds coming in. So yeah.
Owen, thank you so much. That has been absolutely amazing. So everyone, get onto Owen's website. I will put the website details at the end of the video. So go and have a look at the shop and get yourself a box or two. Owen, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Liesl.
Thank you.
It's a big pleasure. Thanks for your time and thanks for having me.
Thank you.